thinking about it. Google has thought about it, and we are live. It is a Tuesday, and it is the no, it's not the local Scrum. You're confusing me now. You're confusing me.
Hello.
Hello, Michael. It is Tuesday, and it is the Kent Beck Scrum, and we've got the Redeemify kickoff coming up after this. We've got Elena, Michael, and Sam here. Just some updates from me. I've been to see the NHS folks today and do another training session. For another person very enthusiastic about the wiki. We've got a doctor who's added a whole new page for us. Things basically under control. I fixed some bugs. Issues with it seem to be particularly related to this moderation extension that we've added and it not playing well with Internet Explorer. There are various things to work out, but the project, yeah, they're seeming pretty pleased with what they've received. I'm trying to write up a project report and get the thing sent out to the wiki sent out to various stakeholders that we involved in this design sprint. Going forward, we've got sort of an ongoing contract for moderating the wiki and for what sort of thing? Yeah, sort of marketing it. So ongoing discussions about how to do that in the marketing team. Joseph is here. Hello, Joseph.
Hi, long time no see.
How did I see? Good to see you. Good stuff.
Yeah, you look very different. Your appearance.
Oh yeah, I'm just I can't grow. My hair's not growing so well up here, so I'm kind of going for the long beard instead. Just it's
Okay.
eventually I'll shave it off and put it back on the top, and that's it. Anyway. Yeah, but yeah, so we've just been doing our NHS project, so that seems to have gone pretty well. I kind of I want to spend a day like kind of completely documenting the way we've used Azure and Bitnami to set up the server, so we've got a better staging server. But anyway, that's that. But so that was a good meeting today. I've been trying to reach out to create more private premium channels for those people who are premium members and give more support to them to help them with their professional development plans. Try and review many of the outstanding pull requests that I have to get to. But I'm starting to feel a little bit, oh yeah, and the MOOC is going live this evening. So still a lot to do, but that's me. Elena, you were in next. How are things going with you, Elena?
Actually, I'm fine, thank you. I got lost and I thought it would be about local support. So actually, I got an review, and if is it possible, may I ask a question about how it should be done? Because currently the existing is it possible to ask it here, or is it?
Yes, it is, and we maybe can't go into so much detail, but I mean the way that the scrums work is people kind of just sort of mention what they're doing and if they're stuck on anything. So if there's a question or there's a thing that you are stuck on, I think this is your updated pull request. You can mention that, and then if you're blocked about something, we can maybe discuss it at the end of the scrum. But this is the main thing that you've been working on, yeah, the integrating list with map pull request on local support.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to ask because there was in comments there was discussion about issues you mentioned, which were created a lot of this. Please.
You mean the code climate?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
was of concern. So failed test runs, and so actually I was thinking, and I've written that into comments too about that. Is it possible? Maybe it's suitable for me to divide code into two parts. One is about like JavaScript and Ruby on Rails changes, and another one is about Cucumber. Or is it too much? And create two pull requests instead of one, or something like this, if this is better for revision.
Yeah. Yes, I think I'm a big fan of splitting up pull requests into separate things. I think that you asked the question here about this. It would be strange to me to split the pull request up so that one was had the tests and the other had the kind of functionality. I guess in order to, I'd say with your pull request, you've got quite this the big thing there. Marouen's been giving you feedback. I think to comment properly, I kind of need to pull out the whole thing and kind of understand it, which I certainly try and hope to do this week. I think the secret to success is definitely to have lots of small pull requests. But the idea is to kind of, for a given feature, and I kind of want a very, yeah. I mean, let's maybe take that to the end of the Scrum, and I can maybe chat with you a little bit more about it. Let me just, shall I, if it's all right, maybe I'll check in with Michael and Joseph, and we'll come back to your question.
Of course.
Excellent. Go on.
I'm sorry. I just also think about this managing distributed groups.
Yes.
They are programming on features. So perhaps it should be discussed at the end of the Scrum too, not.
Yeah, yeah. I think the idea of the Scrum is that one can mention each concern, and then we have a list of concerns, and then we work out when they can be dealt with. But yes, if you have a question relating to AV102, we can certainly deal with that as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right, great, fantastic that you're continuing with AV102 there. Let's just go on to Michael. Michael, how are things going with you? You're sounding extraordinarily faint.
Hello?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
I noticed that you pulled my pull request from website 1.
I did, yes.
I'm not sure what you meant by you're not sure about the approach, but
I guess I was just concerned that we're relying, the thing that you mentioned, that we're relying on the users only being created through that one method. But I think it's I think let's try and see.
okay.
Yeah. Anything else going on? Anything blocking you?
No. I think that's about it.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks, Michael. Joseph, how are things going with you?
Yeah, I want to be teacher assistant in the new coming course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
in the MOOC, yeah?
yeah, in the MOOC, yeah. But I did not have any progress in FE102 now. So
Okay. But you've taken AV102 before, haven't you?
yes, I've taken it before. Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, then we can certainly have you added in as a teaching assistant. Yeah, no problem. I can put that on my list of things to do for the MOOC is add Joseph. That's as teaching assistant.
In the MOOC, my email address is.
Yeah, well, if you pasted it into there. Excellent. Sure. I'll make sure you're set up. Great. Anything else going on for you? Anything blocking you?
No, not else. Oh, but if you want to choose Scrum, it's usually held at 4:30 p.m. in my time zone. In that time, I'm still working, so I can.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we don't have an AV102 Scrum, but yeah, there are Scrums at certain times. But you can come to any Scrum and ask about AV102.
Okay. And how about the auto grader?
Yeah.
I think it is also related with the MOOC course.
Yeah. I mean, the autograde is still there. It's still running. We haven't made any coding changes to it for quite some time. The main thing, I think, 6 months ago, it went down because it ran out of disk space, and I fixed it by giving it a bigger disk. So we have kind of a critical problem that at some point it's going to run out of space again, and we need to have a data warehousing strategy or just a log rotation thing, or So there's stuff to be done on it, but nobody's paying us to do that at the moment. So it's But yeah, if you're interested in getting involved in the autograders again, yeah, there's definitely work to be done.
Okay, and another question is about the premium membership.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know it before. Yeah. So I see it has a monthly pay of €10, right?
10 British pounds.
British pounds. Oh, okay. So that's the what what's the advantage of being a premium member?
Oh, well, that's an excellent question. Yeah, so we've got the all of the benefits of the premium level. There's different levels, but the benefits of the £10 level is that we get the free use of RubyMine, which normally would cost £15 a month. So that's pretty good. Then we have a whole series of private channels in Slack that are, especially for helping the professional development of those people who are premiums. We have the professional code review is kind of a priority code review. So we try and make a commitment to have your pull requests and your code reviewed within 48 hours. It gives you, well, we're kind of eligibility to work on paid projects. So like the NHS project and the wiki, a lot of paid projects. Yeah, it's the wiki. We've had some other paid projects which have been sort of mixed involvement. It's also just, it's sort of supporting us as a charity. And then also we've got some other things. We've got a code school non-profit discount if you're a premium member. And we also promise additional support for your Stack questions that you post on Stack Overflow.
Oh, okay, I got it. And after I subscribe as a premium member, how do if I need to cease it for a while, maybe 2 months, can I just
can you pause? Can you pause it?
Yeah, pause it.
Yeah, in principle, I mean, it's preferred that you just kind of come in, because some of the benefits you get, like being added to the channels, we then have to like remove you from the channel again and so on. I mean, people do, they come in, they upgrade. I mean, we've got, multiple levels. So there is, I was just describing the premium level with these features. There's also, premium mob level which is more expensive, but you get weekly mob sessions, professional development planning support, and then there's like premium face-to-face, which gives you face-to-face sessions. But so, people come in and they subscribe to one and they upgrade and they downgrade, and then some people drop out and so on. So you can, I mean, of course, I guess I would say, come in and do premium and see how you like it. And yeah, if you don't like it, or it's like, you can't afford it again, you can drop out. So you can certainly come in and out and pause. From my point of view, it's best if you can, commit to a baseline. We also have a cheaper one that there's like a £5 a month one as well that has even fewer benefits as well. But there you go. That's the kind of general.
Okay, I got it. I would like to try it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, that would be great. That would be lovely. Please come in and try, and hopefully we can convince you that it's really worth sticking around for.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, I have no more question now.
Yeah. Oh, well, no problem. Thanks for questions. That's great to see you again, Joseph. So we're coming up on the end of the Scrum. Let's maybe go back. We've got outstanding questions from Olena. Should we go? You had a question about the AV102 course, Olena. Should we look at that first?
If it's better, okay. Actually, I wanted to ask about some details, because the last week there was a requirement about pair programming session, which would be about some feature from existing project.
Yeah.
And actually, I think, is it possible somehow, can we get our pair programming partner? Because currently, as I reviewed, mostly Jill Ventures events upcoming, were more about, I can look it right now, but a couple days ago, they were more about some students were planning to some pair programming about their home tasks, and I think it's not relevant to the task which is in our course, so about features and open source projects. And so actually that was a question for me: how is it possible to, I don't know, to get some pair programming partner? And even
Yes.
more important, for example, I'm working on my pull request currently, and I started it alone. So I think at this moment it's complicated to engage someone else in this feature, because it's almost created and it's for review and for fixing some code, not for creating from zero, from scratch, and it's complicated for other people get engaged. And still, I'm not sure if it's suitable to start one more task just because of this open project, while this pull request is not completed yet. So
yes, good, very good questions. I think I understand your question. Just the first one is about how to find a pairing partner in general. Different people. I mean, the idea partly one way is to come into this kind of Scrum, and they're also pair hookups. So you know, if Joseph or Michael or myself was free, we could arrange a pairing session with you. So attending a Scrum like this one is a way of finding a pair partner. I know that we have the pairing notifications channel. I noticed that some of the other people taking the course have been asking each other in there about, you know, pairing with each other. I guess you were mentioning that, you know, there are some people pairing and it's like they're for the students for a course, and yeah, that there are some students from US university who use the pairing system. Although they also work on Agile Ventures projects as part of their course, so you could be doing that. But since you're involved in local support and you're already working on this this pull request, then asking in the local support channel to see if you can find somebody who would be interested to work with you is a very good way. I think you are then saying you're worried, oh, maybe the existing work is difficult to get someone else involved with. But I would say actually, from the point of view of the project manager, I would love to have more people involved in, you know, the work. Originally in local support and other projects, it was all pair programming. And, you know, over time, we've kind of had, you know, it's difficult to get people together into scrums and so on. And we've said, okay, everybody, yeah, you can work individually if you want. But I think it's great if we can do pair programming on those things. Yeah, does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think, but actually, I wanted also to ask, I understand that if, and I was talking about this, that actually I can find that partner via posting who would like to participate in pair programming session. And but actually I was even more interested to know, is it suitable for this person to participate and in pair programming session which is about this existing pull request, or should they?
Yeah, and I would say yes. I would say it's fine. You know, so here really the purpose of this assignment is just to encourage people to connect and get in a hangout and sort of talk. So even if it was just that you spent you know, an hour, and let's say, you know, there's the guy here, Li Engzong, and you were just to show him what you were doing, and you know, he would get it set up locally and maybe make a little change. As the instructor of the course, I'm not so concerned that you make lots of progress or you make big changes. It's that you actually connect with the other person and you get the code working on both machines is the kind of critical step. Then if you can spend more time and you can get some programming done, that's fantastic. But it's connected with, and I would definitely say, you know, if you can stick with the existing one, because there's a general rule that if you have one open pull request that you're still working on, it's probably not such a good idea to open multiple pull requests. I mean, once the first one is finished, sure, you move on to the next one, but it's good to stay on one thing at a time. At the same time, my concern about the pull request, which might be, you know, I haven't really had a chance to review it. We have the issues of like it's got the many files, and that's related to the cache and the VCR and the Puffing Billy. And, you know, so it's often with a big pull request, I'm kind of worried, is it too big? Do we need to break it into smaller pieces? You know, but that could be the thing that you did for the AV102 is, you know, based on feedback, you might think about, okay, well, I wanted to make this smaller piece of it and put that in as a separate pull request. So it's all, you know, it's all good from my point of view.
I understand. Actually, that's pretty interesting how it looks, because when I was changing files, adding or removing some code, actually only a couple of files were changed. I think that was one model, one controller, and JavaScript files. And perhaps, what else? Cucumber? And
yeah, well, and this is the thing, we have a logistical problem, not just for your pull request, but for all of our projects where we are using the VCR and Puffing Billy sandbox, that we can have these file explosions. But we pause there for a minute. So I'm just checking with the Redeemify people, and they don't seem to be around for the kickoff, but I think we've certainly done the Scrum.
Hello?
Hello, Michael.
Oh, I just wanted to ask you one question regarding the...
Okay, Michael, just hold on a second. I was just going to say, so I think the Scrum is finished. We've gone round. So then if people need to leave or need to go, that's good. But yeah, I'm very happy to carry on chatting for a little bit. But yeah, Michael, you had a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so with regards to the user being created, so our concern is that maybe in the future there'll be some other way of creating a user.
Oh, we're talking about the website one issue.
Website
yes.
one, or maybe some errant administrator will create one in the console for some reason. So, would it be enough to put like a database constraint?
Yeah, it might be. You know,
kind of would flush any of those issues out.
It might be. It's an interesting. It sort of feels like it needs a sort of blog post about where the point of control is. Yeah. And there's a separate question about, you know, it's like that how much is it worth working out the perfect solution when we could just be like, what's the downside of just using the defensive programming?
It's not pretty.
Yeah, although it's not. Anyway, I mean, I think it's the kind of thing maybe we could get into in the website one Scrum. I don't know. I'm kind of confused by it as sort of this thing of, you know, from an academic point of view, you can get into the discussion about this versus this, whereas yeah, I'd say like is our time better spent on planning a design sprint where we kind of like work out and test one of these, you know, like your hypothesis about people coming into Scrum. So
I understand that. I'm just saying for my own edification.
Yeah. Well, if you want to have, I mean, the thing you've got next is like, having done that, you opened a ticket for like removing the defensive thing. So yeah, I mean, like it would be great to find, you know, a solution that was good looking and sweet and simple and so on, that hit all of the things. It feels like it almost needs a write up of like, what are the pros and cons of each different solution? Do you know what I mean?
Potentially, yeah. I think it's pretty clear that we don't actually want users to be like to be persistent to the database without karma. Like if that's going on anywhere in our system, we kind of want that.
Right. Yeah,
I think issue to be raised. Like we
can definitely say that we don't want our database to be inconsistent, but we also, and this was the thing we were discussing before, I don't think we want it to be the case that we prevent a user from creating an account based on a problem on our side. It seems to me the priority should be on, you know, if a user tries to create an account and for some reason there's a screw up and it doesn't create the karma, it should still create the account, but it should alert us. It shouldn't block the user from creating the account and then, you know, they want to get their Slack invite. right? That seems to have the cart before the horse. Do you know what I mean? Like that, from my point of view, it's the user getting what they want and ensuring that the users are connecting into the system. That's the priority, right? Not database integrity in and of itself is not the priority, right? It's the service of the user.
Well, I mean, then we will end up having defensive checks everywhere. Basically, if there's no willingness to say, you know, in that 0.5% case, the user will be inconvenienced, then, I mean, there's no way to ensure consistency of data, right? Basically, you're just saying it's just, you know, there's not going to be anything enforced.
Yeah, I guess I'm that kind of guy in some respects. That's my inclination. But you know, as I say, I think that one could have a long conversation about it. I think, you know, it would be good to, rather than repeatedly discussing it, actually write up the pros and cons, you know, of the different approaches.
Right.
Right, for analytical purposes. So yeah, we can come back around to that in the website one kickoff. So Olena, if we come back to your setup here, I think I was just about to say, I think we've got this logistical issue with this project and other projects of the presence of the VCR cache and the Puffing Billy cache, just making it difficult to review the size of the pull request or know what's going on. The other thing that I know that I've had with, I haven't had as much time as I would like to focus on reviewing local support pull requests. And I guess what I'm like unclear about at the moment is, you know, have we worked out the user flow of this integrating list with the map? That's maybe not a question to answer right now. Maybe I just need to sit down and pull out the pull request and review it. But it's, unfortunately, you're kind of on the back of the list of all the premium people I'm supposed to be reviewing first. But are there other helpful things, questions I could answer right now about your work on local support?
Actually, I don't know. I just was thinking, how can I cut this amount of files, make them less, for example, because actually to review my code change, I don't know, maybe that's 6 or 7 files, and everything else, this is
right.
red cache, and it took a lot of place and a lot of changes, and the problem is I didn't edit them on my own, so I don't know.
Absolutely, yes. No, maybe your change is actually very small. Yes. I mean, I guess so the thing that I would do, and maybe I like the approach that I would take to reviewing. I think I've got you as a remote. I mean, if I get set up and I look at if I fetch the latest code out, and none of this is any criticism of you. I'm sort of criticizing the process of the whole project that we have, and we're trying to work out, you know, better ways of doing all of these things. So it's not a criticism of you. I really appreciate, you know, the energy and effort that you're putting into trying to develop the feature. So get tool origin develop. Make sure I've got the latest develop on the local support, and then if I get checkout, if I get a copy of your code, if I look at this, I think I've got review mine on the right thing. Come here, window, local support. Yeah, so I can do, let's get rid of that. Local support, git, compare with branch. So I can potentially see a much smaller, like, because this will organize it hierarchically. So if I compare that with develop, here we go. Yeah, so I can see that the file change, this is probably slowing because, so I can see, yeah, we can see like we've got the JavaScript, there's some CSS, there's a couple of things. Yeah, well, I just want to close that folder. So the request cache, and okay, only a couple of VCR cassettes. Yeah, so the majority of the file changes there is 724 files in the rec cache, and this is the rest. And yeah, that's not too big for what for a feature of the kind of thing that you're developing. That seems reasonable. I think we've got some things here like this is unrelated service maybe, and that maybe because your pull request is not merged to develop, so it's probably even smaller than this number of files. But the thing that I'm struggling with moving towards reviewing this is that, I mean, it's great that we've got that, is the integrating list with the map. That could mean a number of different things. And we've had some discussion before in the pivotal tracker, and I've, still in my mind, I'm not clear what change you've actually implemented. I guess if I run the server locally here, I can kind of see. Let's maybe just run it. That's maybe the quickest way for me to see exactly the kind of thing that you've done. I would like to have clicking on listing the center map on Charity and pop up as in Google Maps. Even ABCD in search results like Google Maps. Right. And yeah, I guess this was the discussion we had before was about this popping up of the pop-up. Like, so even if we have a certain description of different features here, potentially for the pull request, we can break it down to say, let's just do only this bit. You know what I mean? No, I haven't got all the things there. But so the bits that you implemented, so that now that if you click on the listing, the map centers on that item, and because we have an existing pop-up, right? So does it pop up that existing pop-up?
Actually, that was the most interesting part because when we go to the controller and to index action, we have there markers. That's a variable, and this markers then is passed to Google Maps JavaScript. And on the basis of these markers, actually all these pop-ups and these icons on the map appear. But when we try to access this, like, for example, if we try to access those icons and pop-ups which are behind them, not using Google Map, but, for example, using the title of the organization, for example, this will by clicking, it will not appear because it does not like they used it. They have their own storage, and we cannot access it. Actually, as I implemented that feature, so the first of all, when we are creating to create icons and info box behind those icons, we use this special item hash, and on the basis of this special not hash, so array in JavaScript, and then we just access information in that hash and create the info box. So I added, but as it was previously, that hash was accessible only during populating Google Map at the beginning of the creating page. So I just created one more var items, that's an array, and when we are populating map with those markers, also saving these items into this var, into this array, and later we can access them from our JavaScript because it is stored somewhere in the JavaScript.
Okay, so, yeah, I think I understand. I can just about follow what you're describing. If I can just give you some feedback. You're doing something that some people that I noticed people doing is you're describing how code works, but without showing the code. So I guess what I would say is, I mean, I think it was a really good explanation that you gave, and I just about followed it. But I mean, I've been working for code for like 40 years. I still find it very, very difficult to follow explanation unless I can see the code. But more important to me now than the description of the code is that we are clear on the user interface functionality. That is far more important to me than the code. But so, like at the moment, if we click on the links, they pop up this this element here. So I think the functionality that we wanted is if we to click on this box, yeah, like if we click on the box, then we would want to center the map. But so, have you made some check? Where do I click to make the map center?
Of organization, it should work.
If I click on here on the link to the volunteer opportunity, or on the link to the organization?
Oh, the higher one.
The higher one, like this. Okay. Yeah, and that's fantastic. That's exactly the function. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So we go here. Yes, fantastic. Okay, and it's popping up, but so now I notice we've got the arrows pointing in a slightly different place. But so from what you were saying before, it sounds like it was very difficult to get the normal item to pop up. Like if we now start to move, like, yeah, so that you couldn't access just the normal Google map to pop it up because it's hidden inside and you're doing something else on top of it. Yeah, no, that's I can imagine that's complicated, and we can see how that maybe has some surprising side effects there. And I guess these links still, they go out to a different site.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, for example, if there is no different site, but we have a description on the local support site.
Yeah, here.
Then
So
relevant page.
Yeah, and then relevant page. Yes. Those are now, and this, you've got it set up to be working on both the volunteer and the organizations?
That was about volunteer.
Yeah, that's great. And when I ask the question, I keep on doing this. I ask people, is like this, and they maybe sound like oh no, you want that? No, I'm just, it's only the question to check.
Necessary, we can add that also to organizations page, but maybe I understood it wrong because
No. I just, yeah, for the volunteers page, I think the smaller the better. It's always good to do the simple just in one place first, and then we can do more. It keeps the pull requests smaller. I guess see, even without looking at the code, looking at the operation of the interface, I mean, I wish we used to have the setup so that automatically this would be, when the pull request would be deployed to Heroku, and we could see the interface. Because of that was difficult to set. We lost that. You can see how it takes me a little. I have to pull down the code. I have to run it locally. You know, I'm doing it now. It doesn't take too long, but it's great to be talking to you about it and looking at it together. I would say that, like, looking at this now, and part of this is my fault because I should have worked with the client better to provide a more detailed description of how we imagine it worked. But if we look at, so if we go to Google Maps and we look at Google Maps, if we do charities here. So, and I guess actually, I think the way that they have, you see the way they have the list here, is that, in fact, for them actually, it's just if we mouse over the individual thing, it move. Can you see there? As I mouse over, it's just moving this little pin between the different locations. And then if we click on the link here, this one, I mean, they actually pop up the information in here. Yeah. So yeah. And so I think there's no. I guess I'm just thinking about this. So actually the clicking there is good. I think because of the difficulty with the pop-up, and then that we can't get rid of the pop-up. I guess we can get rid of it with X. Hello, Michael.
I'm saying it shouldn't. In principle, I mean, it's like the difference between a click and an on focus, right?
Yeah.
In the DOM event, and then when it loses focus, just destroy the pop-up.
Yes, in principle. I mean, there's an interesting question there about whether it should be the. But so what I guess what I'm thinking, Elena, to make the pull request simpler, is we could start with or we could split it up so that the one pull request is just about centering the map and doesn't do the pop-ups. Does that make sense?
Yes, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, and then because it seems like there's extra complexity with the pop-ups, and then we could kind of, I think it would be simpler to review and deploy just that, either when you click, it's a question there about whether we want, mouse over to do the centering. Maybe just mousing over the thing to do the centering would be less change from the current interface. Anyhow, so that was the and that was I think the main point. So you were asking about I didn't quite understand the way you were suggesting breaking it up. One more branch, add only code changes apply to JS and Ruby code. And okay, yeah. So it was you were talking about application code in one, and then the tests in another one. I think rather than splitting the application code and tests, maybe split the functionality so we have map centering in one with tests, and then there's another one that's popping up with tests.
Okay, I understand. I think I will do that centering. I will create pop-up request, and then I think it would be good to discuss one more time how it should actually open that pop-up. So should it be like in different window, some pop-up like Google have it, or should it be like on the map how it's currently working? So I think I will split current pull request, then create one, or it's better to say it would be nice to remove this pull request and create one more new about only centering, and then after that we will continue to that pop-ups.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then so you could pair with somebody on the centering one.
Oh, I think that would be good. Yes.
Yeah. I don't. Michael, have you any interest with pairing on local support with Elena on that one?
Maybe. I mean, if we talk offline in Slack, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
I haven't done anything with local support in a long time,
but yeah, Elena, Michael's been involved for Agile Adventures since before it was called Agile Adventures, and he's done a lot of the early work in local support, but he hasn't been so involved recently. But he's a great.
I did a lot of stuff with the pop-ups and stuff. Like, I think as it currently exists.
Yeah. So he's like, even just if you can't get a chance to pair, but just asking questions. Cool. Okay. Well, Elena, it turned out that worked out well. The Redeemify people weren't around. We were able to have a close look at what you're doing. I really love what you're doing and the energy that you're putting into it. I hope I don't come across as too critical. A lot of the problems are with how we're organizing the project, and your great energy and coming forward is helping us, improve the project. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, it's great stuff. Well, that is our follow-up kickoff there. Again, we'll be doing more local support stuff on Thursday, Elena, and do feel free to come into any Scrum, if you have questions and blocks. We won't always be able to do a long chat afterwards, but certainly we can try and help connect you with people or trying to help get things in the direction of being sorted out.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye for now. Take care.
Bye bye.